Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. Earlier, we were talking about DACA and Paul Ryan's comments about it. And what's funny to me is this. Keep in mind, the same people who fight to get people to America by way of DACA to become citizens of this great country and pretend that, you know, these people that without us, they can't do anything, are the very same people who protest in support of Colin Kaepernick, a guy who took a knee in protest of this country. That should tell you a lot. You gotta let them in. America's our only hope. Really? So then why are you concerned about Kaepernick taking a knee and saying America sucks? Oh, it's two different perspectives, Kevin. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about this segment, because we got a lot more Dreamer stuff to talk about. Donald Trump just tore into Dreamers in a way that's irrefutable. I freaking love it. Anyway, I want to talk about Hillary Clinton. You know, because she's got her book. What's it called? What Happened? And there's a meme. What happened? And it's got Donald Trump with a book that called I Happened, with the title I Happened. I love that. What happened? Here's what happened. Me. Oh man. So you know that back when Hillary Clinton lost, and I mean, she was just verklempt. Oh my God. Whoa. She was just suicidal. So Hillary was suicidal. They won't tell you that, but it's true. Then she emerged from her hole all apologetic for about a second. And then suddenly she was attacking Trump, and she hasn't stopped. This is a girl that's in big trouble, and she hasn't stopped attacking Donald Trump. She must really think she's got something. I can't wait till some of this stuff plays out. And I think the Democrats just say, look, until they've gotten you over a barrel, you just keep pretending. But now she's blaming Bernie Sanders for doing what she called lasting damage to her campaign. I want you to keep in mind, this is a woman who, in cahoots with the media and the DNC, plotted against Bernie Sanders, who's probably the rightful nominee for the Democrats in 2016. But she says Bernie did lasting damage to her and paved the way for Trump to attack her as Crooked Hillary. He's the reason that Trump said she's crooked. Let me tell you something. Donald Trump didn't need Bernie Sanders in order to attack Hillary Clinton as Crooked Hillary. But if that makes Hillary Clinton feel better, go for it. These are excerpts from her new book, What Happened. Clinton claims that she wanted to fight back against Sanders' characterization of her as beholden to corporate influence, but that then President Obama and others advised her to stay quiet. You didn't have to take that advice. Look, if Hillary Clinton wanted to pretend that she didn't have any corporate interest or whatever, all she had to do was say, guys, you know what? I hear what you're saying, but I didn't have anything to do with this. I'm fighting back. But she didn't do that. You want to know why? Very simple. Hillary Clinton is a crook. Hillary Clinton is we have a speech of her at Goldman Sachs saying one thing to them and then saying something else publicly. And for the record, that's true of most of the things Hillary Clinton said. She tells black people one thing, Mexicans another, Jews another, white people another, whatever. Or the sad part about it was she was such a sorry campaigner that nobody believed her. She watched Bill Clinton for 8 years go and glad hand audiences and, win them over with, I feel your pain. And I tell you what, that story right there reminds me of when I was a little boy and we were growing up, in Hope, Arkansas, and my parents, my mama, she'd do, and I tell you what, this story may not make much sense to you, but I just have to cry right now because it makes me feel bad. And people, look at him up there, just feeling all sad. And Hillary watched the master at work, and she learned nothing. Nobody had sympathy for her. Look, I don't know how you feel. If I said to people, look, I took corporate donations. You're doggone right I did. I have to run campaigns, but I defy you to find anywhere where I made a decision that was favorable based on a corporate cause. If you find a decision that I made, it's because I stood by that decision before I ever met them. If they want to give me money and feel like they're getting access to something, that's what campaigns do. That's a reasonable explanation. Here's what she said. Throughout the primaries, every time I wanted to hit back against Bernie's attacks, I was told to restrain myself. Noting that his plans didn't add up, that they would inevitably mean raising taxes on middle-class families, that they were little more than a pipe dream. All of this could be used to reinforce his argument that I wasn't a true progressive. My team kept reminding me that we didn't want to alienate Bernie's supporters. President Obama urged me to grit my teeth and lay off Bernie as much as I could. I felt like I was in a straitjacket. Well, you were. See, that's the problem with the left. You can't satisfy one group without pissing off another. And that's the problem. Donald Trump, look, you may not like him, and you may say, look, I can't imagine you saying this, but I'm not for DACA. Fine. But Donald Trump goes, I am. And that's it. And I'm not telling you that he can't be influenced, because that is going to be our goal, certainly at TeaPartyCommunity.com. If Donald Trump veers off and goes in a direction that is completely antithetical to conservative views, then we're gonna straighten him out. But I'll tell you this: I've heard Donald Trump talk about it, and I'll use immigration as an example. And he flat out said, "Look, we have to revamp immigration, but you can't take such a hard line that you don't look at the workers that are needed, that you don't look at the kids who are caught up because of their parents' illegalities." You have to have some level of compassion to understand this, but we are going to address the problem in such a way that we knock out the majority of it. And it's going to catch a few good people in the net, but that's okay. Keep in mind, some people are going to get the benefit of this. There's nothing wrong with that. That's telling you the truth. The problem is the left, they hate the truth. Clinton ripped Sanders supporters, the so-called Bernie bros, claiming that some of the attacks against her were sexist and arguing that Sanders attacked her for raking in tens of millions of dollars for paid corporate speeches that made it possible for her to appeal to progressives during the general election campaign. So she's using her raking in money and saying, I needed that money so I could appeal to progressives. Here's what she wrote. Some of his supporters, the so-called Bernie bros, took to harassing my supporters online. It got ugly and more than a little sexist. She's still using the same old tired retread excuses for getting her butt kicked that she did right after the election. Hillary Clinton got her butt kicked because she's lazy, she's entitled, and she knew in her heart of hearts she was going to beat Donald Trump because she and the left had stacked every card against him that you possibly could. And the only thing that saved Donald Trump is the fact that we blew by it. People like us said, we don't care. We don't care what your media says. We're going to energize. And a lot of people who knew exactly who Hillary Clinton was, oh, she got 65.8 million people. How many of them were fraudulent? So she lost because she's a terrible candidate, and we warned them. Folks, DACA when we come back.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.